Source docs. What are source docs? Source docs are the basic piece of information that causes a transaction to happen in your accounting system. So for example, an invoice, a bill, anything like that, a contract, anything that happens in business has some piece of paper or documentation behind it. Even if it's an email, that's just still a source doc. And why are these things important to keep, and how do you keep them? Well, first and foremost, you want to keep them by two different filing categories: permanent files and annual files. The permanent files are the things that might not change, things like your operating agreement or your shareholders agreement, things like that, contracts that are kind of evergreen, that keep going. Then you've got your annual things. These are things like bills and invoices and stuff that really only lasts for a year, and then at the end of the year you want to file it away and start fresh with a new year. For most of you, that's going to be on a calendar year, January 1st to December 31st. And how do you keep these things? Well, for me, I keep them simply in an alphabetical order. That way I know exactly how to find them, I know exactly where they are, and I always keep them electronically. In today's day and age, it doesn't make any sense to keep paper files around when you've got something like the cloud, and otherwise you can save money on storage fees and everything else. Now, the question is what are these things good for? Why do you need to keep them? There are three real reasons why you have to keep them. Number one, in case of an IRS audit, you have to prove that the bills that you paid were right and accurate and legal and all the rest of that stuff. Number two, what happens if you have some kind of a bank audit? They come in and they say, hey, what are you doing in here? You've got to have, or an insurance audit, some sort of a regulatory audit. You've got to make sure you can prove that. And the third and perhaps most important reason for doing this is because when you go to sell your business, that buyer is going to require that they know exactly where all your money went, and more importantly, that they can figure out where it's going. And they need to make sure that you're organized. And if you are, you're going to get a premium price for your business. And if you're disorganized, well, you're going to get a discount. So make sure you keep those source docs, keep them organized. You want to keep them for at least 3 to 5 years, and for IRS docs, 5 to 7 years. Keep these things, keep them organized, and you're going to have a safer business and a more valuable business.